Alright guys, what is up? How's it going out there? Welcome back to Taylor Talks Wrestling. As promised, this is going to be my predictions video for No Mercy, so we're going to go over every match, including the pre-card on No Mercy. If you haven't checked out the Enzo Amore video, it is up currently. I uploaded that video about 2 days ago, so check out my opinion on why I believe Enzo Amore should be the Cruiserweight title, or excuse me, why he should win the Cruiserweight title at No Mercy. Also, I will have those No Mercy reaction and review video for you guys tomorrow. Personally, I'm very excited for No Mercy. I have to work in the morning tomorrow. I work 9 to 2, and then I live out here on the West Coast, so No Mercy for me is starting at 5 p.m. I'm going to come home. I'm probably going to drink a couple beers, get ready for No Mercy, watch the show on the network, and I'm excited. And then as soon as the show is over, I'm going to get that video up for you guys, tell you what I think. But personally, I'm pretty excited. I think most of you guys out there are probably pretty excited too, because this is a pretty marquee pay-per-view, and this is a pretty big show. Even though it is technically a B show, it isn't one of the top 4 pay-per-views. As far as a B show is concerned, I think it's very good. I think the card is very good. And as long as the night is not disappointing, I think we should have a good night, and I think it should be a good pay-per-view. So tell me what you guys think, but personally, I'm excited. So I think that's it for now. Let's jump right into the core and heart of this video, my No Mercy predictions. Let's start off on the pre-show, and let's start off with the newest match that was just added to this card, I believe yesterday on Friday. This match is Apollo Crews versus Elias. This is a tough one for me because these are two guys that I believe that WWE should be pushing. I think both these guys right now are set up for like a good push to get thrown back into that, or thrown up into that upper echelon of superstars and really get a decent push. But I believe Elias is going to come out on top in this one, and I believe Elias is going to go over. I know WWE has big plans for Elias. He's got that look, he's great on the mic, and he's got that great gimmick with that guitar. So I believe Elias will go over in this one. So my first prediction is Elias to go over Apollo Crews on the pre-show. Also on the pre-show will be Neville versus Enzo. Kind of disappointing, again, they're throwing the Cruiserweight title on the pre-show, but it kind of makes sense as we have all these marquee matchups on this show. So, as I said before, obviously I did a whole video on what should happen, in my opinion, in this match earlier in this week with that Enzo video. So if you haven't seen that, again, please go check that out. So obviously I'm going to stick with my earlier predictions, and I'm going to go with Enzo Amore to win that Cruiserweight title. So I'm going to stick with that. Watch that video that I did earlier this week if you haven't already. But I'm going to stick with Enzo to win that Cruiserweight title. Obviously, I have reasons behind why I want Enzo to win that Cruiserweight title, and I explained all of that in that video that I made earlier this week. So go check that out. But yes, Enzo to win the Cruiserweight title. Moving on to Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor. To me, probably the least exciting build going into No Mercy. The match I'm probably the least excited to see. But I am going to go with Finn Balor to go over Bray Wyatt. This is tough for me. This could really go 50-50. I'm not sure what they're gonna do. Each of these guys already has a WW. Bray Wyatt on Raw, and then Finn Balor obviously on SummerSlam. I'm tempted to go with Bray Wyatt simply because Finn Balor did go over him at SummerSlam, but I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt again. In my opinion, it's time to I'm gonna go with Finn Balor again, and in my opinion, it's time to build Finn Balor up and introduce him back into that Universal title picture. I've heard rumors that Triple H isn't too excited with the way they've been pushing, or the way they put Finn Balor out there lately, and the position that he is in WWE. So I think Triple H and a lot of people backstage want to put Finn Balor back into that Universal title picture, and I think it's time to put him back into that Universal title picture because he is one of the most talented guys on the roster. He has that superstar power, and he's one of the most likable baby faces. Obviously, he's great in the ring, so I think Finn Balor goes over again. We put him back up into that upper echelon, back into that Universal title picture. So that's my opinion. We're going to move on from there. We have The Miz versus Jason Jordan for the IC title. Another very tough one for me. But as I also stated on a video, I think I did last week on a Raw review, I think Jason Jordan should go over. I think it's time for him to take that IC title. I know a lot of people want The Miz to win and The Miz to get more focus and, build up that IC title with The Miz still holding it. But I think it's kind of fallen flat a little bit. I know The Miz is a great IC champion. I know he's looking at, taking over the all-time days of the all-time days holding the IC title. So I know he is a good champion, but I think at this point it is time for a younger face for that IC belt. Kind of rejuvenate that IC belt, which I personally think should be a wrestler's belt. You know, it should be a belt for the guys coming up, trying to become big superstars, which I think are perfect for Jason Jordan. I know a lot of fans aren't warming to Jason Jordan as much as the WWE would like, but I think if the WWE goes in the or keeps going in the direction that they are going, and maybe stops with the angle so much as far as Kurt Angle being Jason Jordan's father, if they kind of let that fizzle out a little bit and let us focus more on Jason Jordan's wrestling ability, I think Jason Jordan does have the ability to get over with the crowd and become a very lovable and likable superstar with the crowd. So we'll see what happens, but my prediction is for Jason Jordan to go over The Miz at No Mercy. We'll see what happens, because this one I could totally see WWE keeping the belt on The Miz. I know they like The Miz. Everybody likes The Miz. I like The Miz. He's great on the mic. He knows what he's doing in the ring. He's not the most exciting in the ring, but he knows what he's doing. But I want to see Jason Jordan go over, so I'm going to stick with that. I think it's what's best for the belt right now, so Jason Jordan at No Mercy. We'll move on to the tag team belts, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. I'm going to stick with Ambrose and Rollins to retain the titles. Obviously, they just won the titles from The Bar at SummerSlam, so I don't think that The Bar is going to win it back this early. The biggest question for here is, who do we feud with Ambrose and Rollins after No Mercy, because there's not really any other tag teams other than the Good Brothers that they could go against. I mean, obviously they could stick them against the Hardy Boys, which I actually think would be great. It would be my idea originally when they actually won the belts, is I want to see a feud between the Hardys and Ambrose and Rollins, which we might still see. Of course, they are two babyface teams, so I don't know how exactly that would work out, but I think it would be a good, exciting feud moving on towards the next Raw branded pay-per-view after No Mercy. So we'll see what happens. My prediction is Ambrose and Rollins retain the belts. Interesting to see what they do with Sheamus and Cesaro, The Bar, after this too, because after they stop feuding for those belts, they've been feuding with the Hardys and now feuding with Ambrose and Rollins over those belts for the last couple months. But after, I believe they're going to lose this pay-per-view, I don't know exactly what they do with Sheamus and Cesaro, so interesting to see what they do with that too. So a lot of things to look to after this pay-per-view as far as the tag team division is concerned and the direction that we start moving in. But I believe that Ambrose and Rollins do retain the tag team titles at No Mercy. So let's see where we go from there. Let's move on to the women's titles match, which kind of just turned into a clusterfuck. I don't know a better word to really explain it. It started out looking like it was going to be Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss in a one-on-one match for that women's title. It turned into a fatal four-way with Emma and Sasha Banks being involved. And then obviously WWE decided to throw Bayley in there after Bayley came back last week a little bit early from her injury. So now we have a five-way going into No Mercy. Personally, as many women they have in this match and as many things as they do have going on in this match, I believe Alexa Bliss will retain the title. As much as I like Nia Jax, she does play that monster heel role very well. I just don't think she's good enough. I think she's too green in the ring right now to really give her that belt. I'm glad they're building her up the way they are, and I would like to see her with that belt, you know, within the next year or so. But I think right now, as far as this pay-per-view is concerned, and as far as where we are right now in the women's division, I think it's best to keep it on Alexa Bliss. You know, they were flip-flopping back and forth with her and Sasha Banks for a while, so I don't think Sasha should take it. Even though Bayley just came back off of her injury, I don't think it's time right now to have Bayley go back in as the women's champion. So I say keep it on Alexa Bliss right now, have her go over at No Mercy, and then maybe go into a one-on-one feud with Nia Jax like what we figured we were gonna have. Maybe a one-on-one feud again with Bayley, maybe with Sasha Banks. I don't know where they go from here. They have a lot of talented women. Obviously, you have Asuka coming to the Raw's women's roster too in, I believe, the next couple weeks in October, I know for sure. So a lot of different directions they could go in the women's division right now, but I believe Alexa Bliss does retain the belt at No Mercy. So we'll move on to the first of the two major marquee matchups at No Mercy. That, of course, is John Cena versus Roman Reigns. Now, I've gone back and forth on this match 1,000 different times in my head. I really don't know where WWE is going to go with this. You know, these are their two golden stars, their two little golden boys. Who's going to go over? Obviously, most people are thinking Roman. Personally, I don't think this is going to be a one-and-one done situation. These guys are too big to have this just be a one match. I think for sure WWE is going to carry this to at least one more pay-per-view. In my opinion, I think it's going to be at least two more pay-per-views where they're going to have a set of 3 matches in which Roman wins the series of 2 out of 3 with John getting 1 win and Roman getting 2. So sticking with that and this being the first, I think Roman is going to go over in this one, and then we're going to have John go over in their second match. But in this match, I think Roman does go over. We've seen John win most of those promo battles, with the exception of last week when he wasn't actually on Raw. And we actually had Roman go out there and cut a pretty good promo on John Cena, comparing him to The Rock and all that. So I think Roman does go over. And then we'll see John go over in the next one. Ultimately, we'll see Roman win the feud. But in this one, I think Roman does go over. And now moving on to the Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. Now, another match. I just really don't know what WWE is going to do with this. But I think right now, at this point in time, it is time for Braun Strowman to go over. It is time for Braun Strowman to hold that Universal Championship high and do his little amazing cartoon scream and have the crowd pop and everybody love it and cheer. I mean, they've built this guy up. They've put him out there as, you know, this unstoppable monster. There's nothing else WWE can do to build him up anymore. It's time to pull the trigger. The guy's as big. I mean, if we look back a year ago, if we even look back 6 months ago, we never would have saw Braun Strowman even in this match. We never would have saw him as a viable contender to Brock Lesnar and to that Universal Championship. Now he really is looked at as this like unstoppable monster. So WWE has done a great job of building him up and making him into that monster figure, proving that they still can make superstars in that old school fashion, the way they've been doing it for years with this big monster. So I think he does go over. I think they give him the belt. Don't be too surprised to see Brock Lesnar win the belt back at possibly the Royal Rumble, so he goes into WrestleMania as the champion. But right now, Brock has had that belt since WrestleMania. I think it's time for a new face. I wouldn't be disappointed if Brock held on to the belt, but I think if you look back, you know, a month ago or whatever, when we were going into SummerSlam, a lot of people wouldn't have been surprised back then to see Brock drop the belt, whether that was to Braun, whether that was to Roman, or whether that was to Samoa Joe. So now I think a month later, I think the plan all along was to have Brock drop the belt at No Mercy to Braun Strowman. So I think that's what we're going to have happen. So that is my prediction. Braun Strowman is the new Universal Championship, or the new Universal Champion, in my opinion. Comment, tell me what you guys think. I did start an Instagram account for this YouTube channel. Please check that out. It is Taylor Talks Wrestling, all in lowercase, no capitals, letters. Please subscribe. Please comment. Again, I love you guys. I'm trying to build this channel, get it out there. I will have the review and reaction video for you guys out there tomorrow. Again, comment, tell me what you guys think. Follow the Instagram page. Thanks for watching, and I will check you guys later.